Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about why sensor perceivers usually make very good entertainers. For people who have watched most of my MBTI personality type assessment of celebrities might be wondering why I keep on saying that, well, this person is a sensor perceiver, then, they were very good singers or actors and so forth. And I think it's a good idea to dive deeper into this topic. So when we look at sensor perceivers as a whole, so obviously they have the feminine type and the masculine type, but the theme of the lives of the sensor perceivers is movement and freedom. So these are the creative types, and usually they are restless at school because usually school is more rigid. It has to do with rules, regulations, and things of the sort. So they tend to feel confined, and they usually don't pursue higher education, and they'd rather go into the workforce and explore in terms of either they might be singers, dancers, they could be actors, but it has to do with sort of exploring new territory. And when let's say someone is, for example, an actor, is that it really meshes well with sensor perceiver in the sense that these are projects, so sensor perceivers tend to have a short attention span. So if you're an actor, you might be, let's say, in a role or playing a role for maybe a couple of months, and then you move on to a different location, different project with different type of people. So there's always sort of a newness to your job. And also, let's say if you think about a movie has a number of parts to it. So there's the music, there's might be dancing, there's also the dialogue, there's humor, you can have drama, you can have action. So in other words, if someone is an entertainer, they can go different ways, and especially when it comes to movies, because it's a combination of so many different art forms. So that's why I would say that someone who's a sensor perceiver will be drawn to it. And it's different from, let's say, someone who says, well, I enjoy singing or I enjoy this thing. If someone decides to really focus on becoming an entertainer full time, so becoming a professional, let's say actor, singer, or dancer, then this person has a high tolerance for risk. And that's what you'll see with sensor perceivers. They're willing to gamble and see if they're going to get the role or actually become successful. And because of the fact that obviously if a person is a performer and they hit the jackpot, then they usually make a lot of money, because obviously it's about how people you can serve at once. And if, let's say, a movie in the theater, it could be the same movie in millions of theaters throughout the world. So obviously the person can earn a lot of money that way. So in other words, becoming an entertainer is rather risky, but if the person is willing to follow their passion and they are lucky or fortunate enough to actually make it, they usually earn more than the other main personality types. And the other aspect also when it comes to sensor perceivers is that they also go into entrepreneurship as well, so they're really good in business, so they know how to convey information to the public, they know how to capture people's attention. So these are people who are very much good at sort of like being street smart, so they know what makes sense right here, right now, so they are good at thinking on their feet. So these characters actually make sensor perceivers really good at these two main fields of either being entertainers or being business people. But the other aspect also is that sensor perceivers are the playmate type. So, and when you think about, let's say, going back to being an entertainer, is that it is about playing. Let's pretend to be a person, when we're in the movie. And let's say if also you can't even sing it has a playful aspect to it. Dancing as well. So these are people who want to have fun and they want fun jobs. So that's why they will usually be attracted to either entrepreneurship, and usually something that they're passionate about. Let's say if they are into, let's say, computers or even hairstyling or clothing, whatever they really feel passionate about, that's what they're going to follow, and that's what you'll see with sense of perceivers. And obviously, if they're entertainers, it's usually they have natural talent for it and they go for it. The difficulty with sense of perceivers who want to follow their passion, whether to become an entertainer or opening up their own business, is that there are differences in IQ, in skill, in talent within sensor perceivers. So it's only like, a small percentage who actually, reach the high level. For example, about like 80% of actors are unemployed, and to become a working actor is one thing, but becoming an A-lister is a whole new level of difficulty. So that's why a lot of people, let's say, who are not sensitive perceivers and look at these fields of like these career choices, and they're like, okay, I don't want to go there, but because it is very risky to become either an entertainer or open up your own business, the three main other personality types usually do not follow this path. But sensitive perceivers will, because they have a high tolerance for risk. So for all these, I think that it was interesting to explore this topic as to why I keep on saying that if the person is a singer, dancer, an actor, they're probably a sensitive perceiver because of certain characters that you'll see within that group. So these are people who have a short attention span. Because of that, they know when they do their art to capture the audience. They have high tolerance for risk. They are creative. They like to explore new things. So these are people who like projects. They don't like something that spans for too long. So let's say you make movies for 3 months, you move to another location, new people, new script. So it's always fresh and interesting. These are people also who tend to not have, in terms of their romantic relationship, a stable long-term relationship, so because of the fact that they always on the go, and that's usually what they like. They are not the type of person who are very clinging, or the type of people who want a very sort of long, stable relationship. There are some who do, but the majority, they're fine with that. So I trust that this information was interesting. Maybe you learned something. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.